All right. So we might go a little bit further down the rabbit hole today than we anticipated. Like, that's the best way to explain it. We may be traveling where no man has traveled before. We might go a little bit deeper than we initially anticipated we would go. Sometimes that happens on this show. Woke up this morning, 3:40 a.m., went downstairs, grabbed my big old cup of purple, or my big purple cup, filled it up with ice water, went downstairs, grabbed my morning 5 planner, not this one, this one's the prop for the show, but I have one just like it that I use at the house, grabbed my morning 5 planner, opened it up, went to the quote. There's always a quote on the top of every single page of the Morning 5 Planner. That quote is submitted by actual members of this community. Jumped in, read the quote, and it says this: "Don't mistake calmness for surrender." This is a quote that was submitted by Samara Pendleton. And dude, I got to tell you, I had to read it a couple times. I'm like, don't mistake. Because I always heard, like, don't mistake kindness for weakness. Then I read, don't mistake calmness for surrender. Now that paints a different picture in my brain, right? Like a couple different pictures, some of them a little bit crazy, right? You know that moment where your spouse is really calm in a situation that maybe they shouldn't have been, like maybe you screwed up, you did something wrong, and you were expecting them to yell at you or get mad at you. Maybe it's a parent, right? You did something wrong, you expected them to yell at you or mad at you, but instead they're just eerily calm. That popped into my head this morning. I'm like, that's definitely not surrender. And then I thought about, situations like when it comes to like warfare or things like that, right? Like that quiet where, in the movies, right? Like they go into a certain area and it's super quiet. And then all of a sudden, out of the quiet, it's, they think that everyone, everything's safe. And then all of a sudden, it's not, right? And that popped into my mind. And so it's an interesting quote. Don't mistake calmness for surrender. And to me, I think the biggest takeaway for me this morning when I read that was like, never make assumptions. Always be aware. We don't have to act in fear, but ultimately understand that even the best laid plans can go awry. And I think it fits right in with our series this week. We're in a series this week called Idiots, for lack of a better word, where we are discussing some of the more interesting areas of this crazy thing called life. We're going to continue that series right here today. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks. Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday. That's right, today is Wednesday, aka CMA Day. Carter Myers Automotive Group, the most amazing automotive group on the planet. Had the opportunity of working with the Carter Myers Automotive Group for many years now. Just amazing individuals, amazing organization. If you're ever thinking about joining the auto industry, looking for a place to go, let me know. I can hook you up with my friends over at CMA. Today is also July 29th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Now, I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. And if I'm being honest with you, today might get a little weird. Today's episode might be a little bit weird. I didn't get to fully build it out the way I want to. It might end up being a 2-parter, maybe maybe even. But it might make you a little uncomfortable today. But we're gonna do it, man. This week we have not been. Here's what we have not been doing. This week we have not been trying to find answers. That's not what we've been doing this week. This week we've been trying to become comfortable just hanging out in the questions, in the wonder, in the wow, in the awe, in the misunderstanding. Not going to Google and figuring out, exactly what the answer is, but like really exploring the idea that maybe there isn't so much certainty around the answers as we think there is. Because maybe, just maybe, that's where wisdom actually begins. It begins with you being comfortable not being certain. Yesterday we talked about history and how every one of us has inherited stories. Stories from our parents, stories from our school books, stories from our environments, just the stories over time, right? Stories from our churches, stories from the government, stories from the internet, the people that we trust, all these stories that have been passed down or transferred, whether it be in the last week, the last month, the last year, the last decade, the last 100 years. And what's interesting is our brains, they're designed to ultimately take whatever information we have, piece it together, and fill in the gaps to create our perspective. Now, today what I want to do is I want to take away for just a moment, as we've explored things this week. Today, I want to take away the one thing you've probably trusted more than anything else every single day of your life. Oh, I can't believe we're doing this on this show, but we're going to do it. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys okay with this? Is this too, are we going a little too far already? Are you like, what the heck is Glenn talking about this morning? It's okay. It's okay if you feel that way. But today I want to take away the one thing that you have trusted forever, which is your senses. I want to take away your senses. All right, do me a favor, wherever you are right now, wherever you are, I just want you to look around whatever room you're in right now. Maybe you're in the gym. Maybe you're in the gym and there's some weights and there's a bench and so on and so forth. Maybe you're outside. Maybe you're out on a run. Maybe you're in your house. Hopefully you're not in bed. If you're in bed, I need to get your butt up out of bed. But I want you to just take a look around the room that you're sitting in. Like for me, I've got this chair that I'm sitting in right here that Evan covered it's actually a Raiders chair, but Evan's a Broncos fan. And so he covered it up, but it's kind of fading anyway. So anyways, I've got the chair, right? I've got the chair here in the room, and I've got my lights, and I've got the computer, and I've got my phone that I can see you guys on, and there's tons of papers, and I got my planner. But I want you to look around the environment that you're sitting in, the chair, the table, the coffee cup, whatever it is, right? It all feels solid. It all feels obvious, and it all feels undeniably real. The question I have today is, though it feels that way, is it? Is it actually real? Or is it simply your brain allowing you to experience the realness? Because close your eyes for just a second. Go ahead and close your eyes. Now I got to fix this because it's driving me nuts. Close your eyes for just a second, okay? If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But close your eyes for just a second, and guess what? Everything that you just saw, the chair, the computer, everything disappears as soon as you close your eyes, right? And so the question is, did the room disappear or did your access to the room disappear? Either way, the room is now gone. The laptop screen, the pads, the papers, the microphone. Once you close your eyes, it's gone. So did access go away or did the room itself go away? It's questionable. You could probably argue both sides, right? It's an interesting thought because we don't actually experience reality. We experience our interpretation of reality. And those two are not the same thing. There's a movie called The Matrix. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you've not. There's a clip where Neo, the main character, finds out that he's in kind of this simulation. And after he comes out of the simulation, he's got these plugs in his neck and on his arms, and it's a whole different world. But yet they need to bring him back into the simulation to help him understand. Here's that clip.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
You've been living in a dream world. What is real? It's an interpretation, synapses, nerves, endings, so on and so forth that interpret it in a certain way. Now, listen, I know, I told you, we're going a little off the rails today. And we're going to take this somewhere, and you're going to appreciate it. Maybe you don't appreciate it yet, but we're going to get there. But before we go too far, you know what we got to do on this show. Let's do some dancing. Come on. Wherever you are in the world, let's get it moving. Hey, an object in motion stays in motion. I want you to get moving this morning. Let's go. And for those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I will say what's up back. Does that sound fair? Tara Hope, good morning. Thank you so much for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. Tony Thorstad, good morning to you, sir. Thanks for being in the building. Debbie Darling Waba is up in here. Thanks for being here, Debbie Darling. Rodney Rock Hatfield in the building. Kurt McFarland, look into my eyes. Believe in yourself, my friend. You are more powerful, stronger than you could ever possibly imagine, brother. Stronger than you could ever possibly imagine. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. Lisa Cook-Boyne, good morning to you. Mr. Mike Larkin, thanks for being here. Gene Hughes, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Paul Brindley is in the building today. Thank you for being here. Robert Pollard, good morning to you. Patricia Brudenberg, good morning. Thank you for being here. Liza Myers-Borges is in the building. Thanks for being here, Liza. Tara Hope is in the building. Thank you for being here. Jeremy Powell, what's up, Jeremy Powell? Thanks for being here this morning. Michael Barrick, good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Jody Tibbs is in the building as well. Sonia Merritt is in the building as well. For those of you that are watching on replay, thank you so much for being here on YouTube. I appreciate you. All the peeps and all the places. Thanks for being here. Jeremy Nowling in the building. What's up, Jeremy Nowling? Great to see you as well. All right. We're going to continue this series called Idiots.
We don't know.
We don't know. All right, quick. I want you to think about color. Like, just think about color. Yeah. When's the last time? Like, you're like, what color? No. Just think about color. Color in general. Think about color. There's blues, there's purples, there's oranges, there's greens, there's all these different colors. I want you to think about color. Does color exist out there in the universe, or does it only exist in here? Which one? Which one? Does it actually exist out there, or does it only exist in here? What do you think? Now, we know light exists, and we know that different wavelengths exist, but the color red, the color blue, the color green, these are actually experiences created somewhere between your eyes and your mind. They say an animal like a dog or whatever is colorblind. That's because color doesn't necessarily exist. It's an interpretation. Snakes see the world completely differently than you do. A bee will see things that you'll never see. Dogs smell an entire universe that's completely invisible to you. Birds' perspective is unique. So which one is experiencing the real world? Which one's real? Is it the dog's perspective? Is that the one that's real? The birds, the snakes, the bee, the ant? Or is it you? Or is it none? Like maybe, just maybe, every living entity on this planet is simply experiencing a little slice of reality. The slice that it was designed to perceive. What if human beings aren't seeing reality at all? What if we're simply seeing the version that our minds can process and understand? Now, let's get a little bit weird, as though we haven't already this morning. And as I was writing this, I was like, okay, bro, we're going full Twilight Zone, like Paul Brindley just showed. All right. Have you ever driven somewhere and suddenly realized you do not remember the last 10 miles? So who was driving? Who was driving? Seriously, your hands turned the wheel, your feet worked the pedals, you stopped at traffic lights, you navigated traffic, yet you don't remember any of it. Where were you? Where were you? Have you ever walked into a room and then completely forgotten why you went there? And then 30 seconds later, like it suddenly comes back, right? Like where was that? Where did that memory go? Where was it hiding? Like, have you ever met someone? Answer me this. Have you ever, like you just met someone for the first time and you instantly trusted them or instantly disliked them without being able to explain why? I can think of somebody right now. There's a person that I know, that I've known for quite a while. And for some reason, I don't know why, they have been so kind to me. They have been so generous to me. They are a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human in every aspect. But for some reason, I don't trust them, bro. I don't know what it is. I can't put down on paper what it is. It's impossible because there's nothing there. But I just don't trust them. I just don't. Have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had a dream that felt more real than like real life? And while you were dreaming, like you didn't know that you were dreaming, right? Like usually when you have those dreams that feel so real, right? You don't know that you're dreaming, but yet you're believing it completely until you wake up. My wife often will be mad at me for things that I said or did in a dream that never actually happened outside of that dream, yet she's still emotionally connected to it because it felt so real. She told me the other day that in a dream we had an argument. I was supposed to support her, but I didn't support her in whatever the argument was. And so she took her ring off and threw it at me and was prepared to get divorced. This was a dream. And then for the next like 2 days, she just kept looking at me, giving me the stink eye every time she saw me. I was like, whoa, bro. I got you. I get it now. I always have supported you, but now I fully understand that there is no course of action where you are wrong. Got it. Got it. So here's the uncomfortable question. How do you know that you watching this show with me right now, doing your run, going to work, experiencing whatever, how do you know that that's not the same thing? Like, before you really think that I'm super, super crazy, think about it. Like, every dream that you've ever had felt absolutely real while you were inside the dream. Only afterward did you realize that you'd been mistaken. Could that happen again? Could you wake up from all of this and be like, holy crap, that really felt real? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, and neither do you, is my point. Now let's continue to go off the deep end here. Let's talk about déjà vu. Anybody ever had déjà vu? Like, when it comes to déjà vu, right? Millions of people have experienced it. It's that strange feeling that you've lived this exact moment before, that somehow you know what's about to happen, right? What is that? Is it a glitch in your memory? Is it your brain processing information out of sequence? Is it coincidence? Is it something we don't yet understand? Different people have proposed different explanations. The experience is real. The explanation, that's where the conversation begins. And then there's this thing called the Mandela Effect. You ever heard of the Mandela Effect? Oh boy. Oh boy. In case you haven't heard of it, let me show you a little bit of a little clip. We're not going to watch the whole clip. It's a really good clip, but here's a little clip.
Have you ever been totally sure about something, only to find out you, and maybe thousands of others, were totally wrong? Welcome to the mind-blowing world of the Mandela Effect. Named after the iconic South African leader, Nelson Mandela, this curious phenomenon happens when a large group of people remember something one way, only to discover they've got it all wrong. And trust me, we've got some real head scratchers for you. From New Zealand's mistaken location to wonky memories when it comes to what we love to eat and watch on screen, I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 insane Mandela Effect examples that'll blow your mind. 25. The Great Bear Name Debate. Remember the beloved children's series, The Berenstain Bears? Well, you might recall it as the Berenstein Bears with an E, right? Well, brace yourself. It's always been Berenstain, as confirmed by the Library of Congress. The discrepancy has sparked lots of debate, with many fans swearing by the Stein spelling. It also got a lot stranger when old memorabilia surfaced showing the name Berenstein on the book covers. Since many people believe the Mandela Effect is caused by time travelers messing with our past, that or we live in a parallel universe, I'll leave it to you to decide if this is only a case of mistaken identity. 24. The turkey leg that never was. If you've ever pictured Henry VIII gnawing on a turkey leg, well, you're not alone. Many remember a famous painting of the English king seated at a table proudly holding a turkey leg. But here's the kicker. That painting doesn't exist. The actual artwork shows Henry with a pair of leather gloves and the string of a scabbard. The turkey leg image seems to be a collective mirage fueled by a mix of media depictions and the Mandela Effect. 23. Peanut butter pandemonium. The world of delicious spreads has its own fair share of mystery thanks to the Mandela Effect. You might remember a popular peanut butter brand as Jiffy, but here's the twist. It's always been Jif. Launched in 1958 after a rebrand from Big Top Peanut Butter, Jif has remained consistent in its name, and yet a lot of peanut butter enthusiasts swear they remember it differently. They're probably getting confused with Jiffy Pop. That's my take on it. 22. Is it Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? If you've ever wondered whether the classic cartoon featuring Bugs Bunny and his pals was really called Looney Tunes with 2 O's, you're not alone. Fans of this iconic series have been debating the name for years. The confusion likely arises because Looney Tunes with two O's just sounds like it should fit better with a cartoon about wacky characters. But despite what your memory might tell you, it's always been Tunes. The mix-up probably comes from Warner Brothers drawing inspiration.
Yeah, I'm going to call bull on that one. And there's a bunch of them. Do you remember the cornucopia from Fruit of the Loom? Well, there is no cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo. It's just simply a bunch of fruits. There are many more of these. Fruit Loops in the way that they're spelled. People that remember people passing away in different timelines and so on and so forth, depending on how they were born. Endings to movies that have all changed. Millions of people confidently remembering details that just simply don't match today's records. Now, psychologists have one explanation. I don't sleep much. Psychologists have one explanation. Others propose very different ones, but what's fascinating isn't what is correct, because we're not looking for answers. What's fascinating is how confidently people remember something, even when other people are just as confident they remember it differently. So let's go a little bit deeper, if that's even possible. We've kind of gone off the deep end as it is. Consciousness, but what is consciousness? What is the experience of being you? Can science fully explain it? Can religion explain it? Does spirituality explain it? Can philosophy fully explain it? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe fully you means child of God. Maybe, maybe not. Can anyone hand you one answer that everyone can agree on? I'm going to go with not yet. But think about this, dude. Your brain that's in your head has actually never touched the outside world, ever. Your brain sits in complete darkness inside your skull. Every sight, every sound, every smell, every touch, every taste arrives as an electrical signal. It's a tiny little impulse. Somehow those impulses become music. They become love. They become fear. They become mathematics, art, laughter, grief, hope. How is that? How is that? Now, here's another question. My wife, this happened to her yesterday. Have you ever noticed, I know you've noticed, how time changes? Like, not on a clock, but in your experience. 5 minutes waiting around can feel like an hour. 3 hours with someone you love can disappear in what feels like 5 minutes. Am I right? Yesterday, my wife was running around. She's like, oh my gosh. What, like, she's like, it just feels like time is like, she's like, I don't understand what's happening. And here's what's interesting. The clock didn't change at all. You changed. Now just imagine you and I witnessed the exact same event, right? Whatever that event is, whatever that experience is. It's a workshop here in my office. We see something happen out there in public, whatever it is, right? Imagine you and I witnessed the exact same event. Later, you and I describe it. Different details, different emotions, different conclusions. Which one is correct? Now, there's that old saying, right? You always have his perspective, her perspective, and then the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? So maybe it's pieces of both, but in all honesty, maybe it's neither. Maybe it's neither. Human beings, they don't simply remember things, dude. We reconstruct things. We make things up in our mind. We interpret things. We attach meaning to things. We are storytellers. And that doesn't make us dishonest. It just makes us human. So I want to ask the question that's haunted people for thousands of years. What if the universe is stranger than any of our current stories? Not stranger than science, not stranger than religion, but stranger than both. What if future generations look back at every debate we're having today the same way we look back at debates from centuries ago? I saw a commercial last night during the baseball game, and the commercial was about medicine, and and it was showing people putting leeches on people's bodies back in time, and it was showing like just all this different crazy stuff that we used to do, and we're laughing at the commercial because it's funny to look back and be like, how could people have believed that was going to be true? But they're going to be looking back and laughing at me and you. And they're going to be thinking, the future us's are going to be thinking, they were asking the right questions, they just didn't have enough of the right information yet. And maybe that is it. Maybe that is it. Maybe we're not wrong. Maybe we're just kind of early to the party, right? We just don't quite understand. But here's what I've discovered, and this is the point I'm trying to make. The older I get, the less interested I become in proving I'm right, because proving you're right often means you've stopped listening. I would much rather be fascinated. I would much rather be surprised. I get frustrated a little bit when I'm having conversations with people who have to be right. Like, I would rather discover that reality is bigger than anything I currently believe. I would much rather discover that than discover that I was right about something. So this week, I'm not trying to get you to like distrust the world. I'm just trying to get everyone to rediscover like wonder, because I feel like it's just missing, right? Like my kids, they have wonder. Explorers, people that travel and go around the world and try new things, they have wonder, right? Me and Liza and some others, we went rock climbing at the Flatirons in Boulder, Colorado the other day. It's like that there's something to that, right? There's something to that. Inventors have wonder. Entrepreneurs have wonder. People that create jobs or companies or whatever, they have wonder. Wonder is what great scientists have. Wonder is what great philosophers have. Wonder is what great people of faith have. Wonder says, I don't know, but I can't wait to learn more, to experience it. So tomorrow we'll finish this kind of journey, and we've got an interview on Friday. So we'll finish this series and we'll ask one final question. And it's really like, why do human beings need certainty? Why do we have to divide into different camps and different tribes? Why do we have to defend our beliefs like our lives depend on them, even if it ultimately hurts others and theirs? What if the greatest act of intelligence is not finding the perfect answer, but learning to hold your convictions with enough humility to keep on searching? To keep asking questions. So listen, today I don't want you to go looking for answers. I want you to go looking for questions. I want you to ask questions when you're at lunch with a friend. Ask questions from your kids when you're driving in the car. Ask questions of the server that serves you at the restaurant tonight. Your parents, when you're around them, ask questions. When your friends, ask questions. At the event, ask questions, because if we have learned anything this week, it's that the world is truly mysterious. And maybe, just maybe, it's designed to be that way. Certainty closes our eyes to where we can't look around and even try to interpret a different version of reality. Questions, however, can connect us in ways certainty never can. Christine Green, thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to see you. I was thinking about you just the other day, as a matter of fact. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you that are hanging in there with me this week as we go down this weird, kind of crazy, esoteric journey, I appreciate you. I really do. I love you, as a matter of fact. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you, and I mean it. Thank you so much for choosing to join me here. Hit that share button, tag your friends. Maybe don't tell anybody Glenn's gone off the rocker this week. and I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Does that sound fair? All right, cool. I'm going to give you a couple more Mandela effects on the way out. Peace.
Have you ever been totally sure about something, only to find out his classic look has always featured red shorts without the added accessory of suspenders? It's probably the two buttons. People think that's where suspenders go, so their brain just probably fills in the rest. 19. Would you like some Captain Crunch or Captain Crunch? The debate over Captain Crunch's name is a tasty example of the Mandela Effect in action. While many cereal fans remember the breakfast mascot as Captain Crunch, his official name has always been Captain Crunch. But the confusion doesn't stop at the name. Captain Crunch's uniform has its own set of mysteries. Traditionally, American naval officers wear bars on their sleeves to indicate rank. 1 for ensigns, 2 for lieutenants, and 3 for commanders. However, Captain Crunch's outfit has never quite matched up with these ranks, sporting a mix of bars over the years. So, whether you remember him as Captain Crunch or Captain Crunch, it turns out that the character's uniform, at least, has been proven.
Hey, Rob Ruth, what are you doing, bro? What up, what up? I was just closing out the show. We were talking about Mandela effects. I was just going to play that video and go hit the gym. And then you just popped in. I'm like, wait, I got to say hi to Rob Ruth. It's great seeing you, man. Rarely do we see you in this space. I get to see you in other spaces. But good morning. I hope you're having an incredible morning and you're going to have an incredible day. Today's show was a little bit weird, so I'm glad you came in late. But I'll get to talk to you a little bit later today, man. Have a great day. Peace.
His classic look has always featured red shorts without the added accessory of suspenders. He never has. Rich Uncle Pennybags, the iconic face of Monopoly, is instantly recognizable with his top hat, mustache, and pinstripe suit. But despite the strong visual memory many people have of him wearing a monocle, it's simply not true. This case of the Mandela Effect has left many scratching their heads. So if you remember him sporting that signature monocle, rest assured, you're not the only one feeling a bit frazzled by the mix-up. I think this one is people confusing Mr. Peanut. I think they're taking his monocle. 16. Where on earth did New Zealand go? Think you've got geography down? Well, you might be in for a surprise. A surprising number of people remembered New Zealand being in a completely different place on the map. Sure, we know that New Zealand is southeast of Australia, but some people swear it used to be northeast, or even in a totally different location. And it's not just New Zealand. People have different memories of where Australia is too. Some theories suggest that alternate dimensions or time streams might explain this mix-up. The idea is that we might have merged realities with another timeline where maps and borders were different. So if your sense of direction seems a little off, well, you're not alone.
Right now.